So you've built your raised garden beds and now it's time to fill them up. We're going to show you how we filled these beds up as cheap as possible, and yes, we did have to buy dirt. So one of the new gardening buzzwords I've been hearing lately is Hugelkultur. Hugelkultur is a German word, and the basics of this process are building a mound of sticks and other biomass, and as that mound breaks down, it improves the quality of your soil. More nutrients, organic material, warmer soil. So as that mound breaks down and all those nutrients get pulled back into the soil, the quality of the plants, or I guess maybe the plants that grow in that, do better than they would in another, maybe more traditional way of gardening, or at least as we think of that here in the US. Now, I won't call what we're doing here as completely Hugelkultur. Maybe if you're diehard into this, you'll disagree with what we're doing. So this is a modified version of that. But what we did is we took sticks, grass clippings, other organic material that we have laying around here, layered that in our bed to start with, and then we put our topsoil on top of that pile. Now, by doing it this way, we save money on dirt. We put our sticks in the bottom, and then as those break down, they become the dirt. We don't have to buy nearly as much topsoil, which is a huge cost. And since everybody's concerned about the cost of everything right now, this is a good way for us to save just a little bit of money on our garden. This process has taken quite a bit of time, so you're going to see a few outfit changes and maybe even a changing of the seasons. But you know what? This isn't a race. We're just here. We're happy to be sharing our journey with you. So thank you so much for being here. So before we put all our sticks in here, we're finishing off our cardboard in our beds. When we built these beds, we started putting some cardboard in here. It took a little longer than we wanted to, so we were able to accumulate a little bit more cardboard. And now we're going to be able to hit just about all of these at this point. And then we're going to pile our sticks up. So Megan went to the store earlier and bought a cubic yard of dirt, a roundabout. It was two Bobcat scoops. And we've got one bed pretty much filled up. Now we're going to work on getting this one, and we're just going to do as many of these as we can. It's probably going to take quite a few scoops, but dirt's expensive, and we don't have anywhere like here to borrow it from. If we did, we'd just steal our own dirt, but we don't, so we had to buy it. You might have to buy it too. That's okay. It is cheaper if you don't have to buy it in bags. If you've got to buy it in bag form at your local big box or hardware store or whatever, it's going to get expensive. If you have somewhere locally you can buy it by the Bobcat scoop or skid steer, whatever, it's going to save you a lot of money. Once all the dirt's in, we'll top it with mulch, and that's going to protect the soil, help hold moisture in, and it should help prevent weeds as well.
Bare soil will kill your soil too. So even like in the winter when all your plants are gone, you need to have a cover crop on there. Even if it then dies and just stays brown on the top, spring you come in and pull that out.
What beds we don't fill up with dirt, we're actually going to be taking shavings from our barn and just composting them directly in our beds. So as that animal bedding breaks down, it's going to become soil, but that process takes time. And so we're jump starting our beds with dirt, but then some of these others, like those, we're just going to let that process take time. So we're going to have a nice little garden this summer, but then in the future, this is going to continue to grow and develop. It's going to be a lot of fun. Good things come to those who wait, right? So we picked up a couple of cattle panels. We're going to make a bean tunnel in between a couple of our beds here. A lot of your garden plants need some kind of structure to grow. Cucumbers, pickles, tomatoes. They need something that they can grow up. Pole beans, they need something they can grab onto and crawl up. So we plan on doing cucumbers. We've got some cucumbers we need to transplant into this bed. We're going to use bamboo stakes for our tomatoes this year. But luffa gourd or cucumbers, anything like that, gonna have a nice fun little tunnel whenever this is fully grown. It's gonna look really cool. So for as long as I can remember, throughout my entire life, my dad drove his T-post tomato stakes in to the ground with a 16-pound sledgehammer. He would hold that thing up high and drive those posts in. A post driver cost $25, or at least it did a couple years ago when Megan bought me that one. I don't know why he chose to do that way all the time, but you know what? Here's my tip. Spend a little money on yourself. It makes it so much easier. So just do that. Do it for you. Do it for you, okay? The bean tunnel's up. The plants are in the ground, or at least some of the beds. We're still going to continue on and put a few more of these together, hopefully this year. We're a little bit behind schedule, but it's not a race. We're just happy to be out here spending time together as a family doing this. We have more garden videos to share with you, and then we'll be sharing the progress of our garden throughout the year. So if you want to see more of that, consider subscribing to the channel. We'd sure like to have you along. My name's Reagan. This is the GWP Homestead. We'll see you soon.